and welcome everybody to Whiteboard Wednesdays. Jeff Thomas once again representing Invest and keeping the path going, taking a question from the groups that responded. And today we have the question around insurance. You know, Jeff, you did the topic of what type and how much. What would be the benefit of me converting a policy over time when I would quote unquote consider myself self-insured? That is a great question. That is a great question. And I think a great example to whiteboard this out is something I call the man A versus man B. You know, because a lot of us think of investments and they think of insurance, either or. Well, what I want to educate, guide, and counsel the clients I work with or future prospects is to understand how they can all work together for you. So let's just kind of table this out as a man A versus man B. Now let's just call them twin brothers, all right? Both are 45 years of age, okay? And they say, the economic value of my cash flow or how much insurance I think I need is $2 million. And the reason the 45-year-old says I'm at $2 million, well, I'm gonna retire at age 65. So I'm gonna do a 20-year term policy. Because when I get to 65, I'm gonna retire, I may not need insurance anymore. Brother B says, I like that plan. I'm gonna go with $2 million for 20 years as well, but I'm gonna do a 20-year term with conversion privileges in it. Now let's assume that both brothers are saving the same amount of money, okay? So they're gonna do that. Brother A is gonna do that for 20 years. His savings rate, he's gonna have in his investment account when he's 65, $2 million. And he says, I'm self-insured, I no longer need this anymore. So, but what you need to consider once you retire, there's many different eroding factors that can pull away from your income. So let's just say he's gonna pull out at a 5% withdrawal rate, okay? That's gonna generate $100,000 in retirement. Now what does he still have to pay? Taxes. So let's pull those out. So he's going to be generating $75,000 in retirement. And he's hoping that's going to last until maybe he's 85. Now, as he's pulling money out of the market, there's a myriad of different things that come into place. So let's just use a couple years that are recent. You know, if you saw me do 4 blocks, what are some risks that are associated with pulling money out of the market? Well, we may have down years. There's risk involved. So let's look at 2018. That was a negative year. 2022 were negative years. If he's pulling his $75,000 in these downward years, he's pulling it out to fund his lifestyle. It never has time to rebound and continue to grow. On top of that, if something happens to him in retirement, and let's just say he passes away, and this $2 million goes to his heirs or beneficiaries, who do they still have to pay? Or have a timeline when they may have to take those funds out? Uncle Sam, he's our lifetime business partner. So you have a potential tax liability inside of that, even as a legacy asset that you want to leave behind. Now, there's many different ways that you can insulate that, but I want to keep this very simple today. So again, pulling $75,000 out, he's pulling money out in a downward market. He has no other choice than to pull it out to fund his lifestyle. Now, Brother B says, I'm going to do things a little differently. So the question was, from the feedback we got, is why do I want to look at converting this over 20 years? Well, let's just look at the same thing. He's going to pay on this for 20 years, but every few years, he's going to convert chunks of that term to have a permanent policy. Now, same dollar saved as Brother A, he just programmed it to go to a different spot. So he may have 1.5 million in investable assets, but he also has 500,000 that's now inside a legacy benefit, or in terms of cash value, still has the same 2 million. Now, what the Brother B is going to say is that, you know, because I have this legacy asset, 2 million that's going to go to my heirs tax-free, I'm going to spend more in retirement. So I'm going to spend down principal and pull out interest. So I'm going to pull out 150,000 in retirement. You still have taxes. So he's generating 125,000 in retirement. And again, he's hoping that this is going to continue to allow him to live the life that he wants. But let's just say it's the same thing. 2018 happens. 2022 happens. Both negative years. Is he going to pull out his lifestyle income from just his investments? No, he's given himself a choice. He has another bucket of cash or safety and security that he could pull from inside the insurance policy. So he's not pulling money out of the market in a downward momentum. He's pulling it from the cash value that he's built up. So for him, he's eliminating that sequence of return risk, they call it, pulling money out of the market when it's down. We don't want to do that because then if you pull it out to fund your lifestyle, like Brother A, never has that time to rebalance and regrow. So just highlighting the differences between man A and man B is to the question that was asked, why should I look at converting over time? Don't look at them as either or. I can either do investments or I can do insurance. Look at it as part of a blended strategy. Again, same dollar saved, it was just programmed to go to a different spot. So he locked in that $2 million at a younger age, but over time, he was able to convert chunks of it so that he has a legacy asset. Because when they both retire at 65, his net worth is $2 million. Brother B's net worth is $4 million. Something happens, goes to his heirs. He may have some tax liability inside that or a certain time to run it out. Something happens to Brother B, more than half his legacy goes tax-free to his heirs. So there's different ways that you can look at this, but the main objective I want you to come out of this is that you don't have to look at investments and insurance separately. You can look at them as part of a blended strategy. So does it make sense? You tell me. Jeff Thomas, Whiteboard Wednesdays. I'll see you on the next one.